In front of you sits a tray, shimmering sesame seeds, caramelized meat, and golden fries. A masterpiece of modern food engineering. But this is not just a meal. It is a biological Trojan horse. The moment you take the first bite, you are entering a conflict with your evolutionary heritage. Scientists call these creations hyperpalatable foods. In this video, we will trace the 72-hour journey of an average fast food meal from your stomach into your bloodstream, at the cellular level. And as we follow this invisible marathon, you will see how a single meal can trigger a domino effect, altering hormones, influencing gene expression, and reshaping metabolic signals. What happens next may surprise you. Hyperpalatable foods and dopamine hijack. The process begins with the very first bite. Fast food is engineered around a precise formula known as the bliss point, a calculated balance of sugar, salt, and fat. This combination directly stimulates the brain's striatum, triggering an intense release of dopamine. In 2010, a study published in Nature Neuroscience demonstrated that these foods activate addiction pathways strikingly similar to those seen with cocaine. As receptors on your tongue detect this dense calorie load, the brain receives an ancient message: scarcity is over. Eat as much as you can. That is why, even when you are full, you still reach for the final crumbs at the bottom of the bag. This is not a failure of willpower. It is a neurobiological manipulation. 15 to 20 minutes after the meal, refined flour from the bun and high-fructose corn syrup from the soda enter the bloodstream. Under normal conditions, blood glucose levels remain between 80 and 100 milligrams per deciliter. But after this meal, they can surge rapidly, rising above 180. Your pancreas interprets this spike as an emergency. It responds with a massive release of insulin. Here lies the hidden danger. High doses of fructose effectively lock the doors of the cells. As insulin struggles to lower blood sugar, the body fails to burn this energy. Instead, it converts it directly into visceral fat, the dangerous fat that surrounds your organs. While you are still enjoying the taste of the meal, the first fat droplets are already forming inside your liver. 30 minutes after the meal, vascular damage begins. The real danger begins after the 30-minute mark, inside your blood vessels. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology shows that even a single high-fat meal can reduce endothelial function, the inner lining of your arteries, by 20 to 25%. This phenomenon is known as postprandial lipemia. Saturated and trans fats circulating in the bloodstream thicken the blood, almost like turning it into sludge. Your arteries lose their elasticity, and blood pressure begins to rise. In response, the body releases inflammatory cytokines in an attempt to clear these foreign substances. In other words, your body interprets the meal not as nourishment, but as an infection, and it launches an attack. An average fast food meal contains up to 150% of your recommended daily salt intake. When such a massive amount of sodium enters the bloodstream, the body scrambles to protect its osmotic balance. Water is pulled out of your cells and drawn into the blood vessels. The result? Blood volume increases, the heart beats harder, and you feel bloated. Your kidneys are forced to work overtime for hours, filtering out the excess salt. During this process, the thirst signal intensifies, but the brain often misreads it as hunger. That confusion pushes you toward a second drink, or dessert. This biological illusion is one of the fast food industry's most profitable tricks. 2 hours after the meal, blood sugar levels crash rapidly, not because the body lacks fuel, but because the pancreas has already overreacted. This phenomenon is known as reactive hypoglycemia. The brain interprets it as an energy emergency. You begin to feel weak, your focus fades, irritability sets in. This is what people call a food coma. But here's the paradox. While your stomach is still physically full, your brain sends a fresh signal of hunger. Why? Because ghrelin, the hormone responsible for hunger, is not properly suppressed by ultra-processed foods, deprived of real nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, the body believes it is still starving, not for calories, but for nourishment. By the end of this journey, it can take up to 51 hours for your body to fully clear the effects of just a single meal. Of course, eating a hamburger once in a while will not make you sick. But when this biochemical stress is repeated several times a week, it leaves a mark, creating what scientists call a metabolic memory inside your cells. Blood vessels begin to stiffen, the liver grows fatigued, and insulin receptors slowly lose their sensitivity. Health does not exist in flavors engineered in laboratories. It lives in harmony with the natural rhythm of the human body. So the next time you look at that menu, remember not only the taste, but the silent battle your cells are about to fight. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Stay